Nominate the youth sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week. Submit your nomination at kslsports.com/contest and listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. Help us celebrate the efforts of those volunteers making an impact with the Hercules Hero of the Week. And it's sponsored by Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals.
DJ and PK, college football. Still a few weeks away before things really ramp up. But there's a lingering question out there. And so our question to that question is, hey, BYU fans, how you feeling about the quarterback position? What are you thinking? Daniel, probably better than Utah, but I hope I'm wrong. Ute fans with angst of their own. Terry, like Kamala the week before Election Day.
What does that mean?
Preparing for defeat, I guess. That's how I took it.
She was not. I don't think that's the way that goes, but what do I know? I don't know anything about that stuff. I think BYU is in a situation that is a little bit befuddling and perplexing now. They love the Grizzly, Bear Bachmeier. He's not a brown bear. He's a grizzly bear. Is grizzly bear the most ferocious bear out there?
It has that rep, yes. The only one that might actually polar bears are apparently pretty mean, pretty tough, pretty angry. But yeah, go with grizzly. Everybody knows the brand.
And in my conversations and all that, is that they are so high on this young man that they believe that he has the ability to be a star. And Retzlaff, I don't believe, will take a snap for BYU. That's my opinion. And so they've got the Bear, the freshman, and then they've got Hillstead and Bourget, those three. They got another freshman there, but I wouldn't think that freshman would be in the mix. Kid out of, where's he out of? Bountiful, somewhere up there, Woods Cross.
Emerson Gauman, Bountiful High.
Yeah.
State champion.
Yeah. And I know the coach at Corner Canyon really liked him, so when he's talking about those guys and getting them that kind of recommendations, that gets my attention because that guy knows what he's talking about, obviously, because I've talked to him about it. And if Bachmeier can get himself up to speed, he's going to have an opportunity to start. And that's the thing. It's like it's a race against time.
So that's the question, though. Okay, they like his talent. They think they have something. You get that. But then you go out and use the word freshman. And we all know freshman quarterbacks, that can be a roll of the dice. I mean, the very fact that we go through all these Big 12 spring football interviews and we talk about, okay, well, Iowa State has a third-year starter now, right? There's a massive benefit in that. It doesn't mean a freshman can't come out and compete and be successful, but don't we all have our doubts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no question about that. That's a fact, yeah. Freshman, first-year freshman, no less, not a redshirt freshman. Now, he's gone through spring ball, but this is like the one-of-a-kind. Never have seen this before in the history of college football. He's gone through spring ball. He's a first-year freshman, gone through spring ball, but it's not your spring ball.
And it wasn't even a full spring ball. It was 2 weeks worth.
He would have been the starter. The kid is as bright as can be. He's enrolled in Stanford for, I call it the spring semester. Some people call it the winter. I don't know what Stanford calls it. 20 units, 4.0.
At Stanford, you have my attention. Well, you have my attention anywhere, but you definitely have it at Stanford.
His brother, graduated in computer science in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Flying.
It took me 5 years, and I barely graduated ASU. So the family places a premium on academics. If you get into Stanford, obviously, you're going to have your academics in order. That's just simple fact. But 20 units, I can remember my first year. I didn't work my first year in college. I took 16, and it was so hard. Then I had to work because I supported myself. My parents didn't pay a penny for college. I paid every bit my own and didn't pay anything. They would have. It's not like they wouldn't have, but they didn't have it. So it was sink or swim myself. So I had to get a job. And I realized with the jobs that I had, that 12 units and then take some summer school to keep on pace to be able to graduate in 5 years, that's what I did. And it worked out. So no complaints on my behalf. It worked out. I'm fine. Did better than I thought. I've got this dream job. I love it. No big deal. This kid goes in 20 units at Stanford and knocks it out of the park. And his brother, as Jacques said, 2.5 years. Wow, that's incredible. So now he comes here and has this opportunity because I believe the job is open. They could do like they did with Zach Wilson. I think their plan was that, they would play him at some point, but they waited, about halfway through the season, I think it was. I think it was literal. I think Mangum played 6, and then Zach Wilson got in there, and then he takes off. So they've got options, obviously, to see how to play it out. But if they can get Bachmeier up to speed, I don't know if they can, but if they can, they might start a freshman quarterback and a first-year freshman quarterback. Could happen.
I believe that could happen. I just wonder what the results will look like if that happens. The hopes were very high, and I think the hopes are somewhat tempered now. Yeah, but if we're sitting here in mid-August and it's clear, okay, it's a first-year freshman, then I think the somewhat tempered hopes are going to be downgraded again. And we got to let this shake out, I know, but, man, I feel Cougar fans slowly reeling their expectations in, and they might reel them in faster than that, depending on how this goes.
Sure. We're looking at it, generally speaking, a first-year freshman. Oh, my gosh, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
But then you have to step away from that and maybe look at Bear Bachmeier.
Maybe he's the exception.
Maybe he's different.
Could be. I think that'll be more prove-it mentality from the fans. Expect the worst, hope for the best.
I wouldn't say expect the worst. I think that's too strong. Because
expect mediocrity and hope for the best. Where do you want it? Where do you keep fine-tuning this, PK? Where are we going to land with the language? You're in charge of the language. I do the math poorly. That's how this show works. We're both really comfortable with
it. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I think the phrase that we made fun of a little bit that has been in vogue is this complimentary football, right?
Yeah.
And so Jay Hill, as far as I'm concerned, he practically walks on water in Provo. As far as the job that he's done defensively, right? Particularly where they were defensively before Jay got there and where they are. It's like, wow, Jay Hill, no wonder why he was turning down head coaching, at least one head coaching job in the offseason. This guy is brilliant. Can't say enough about Jay Hill, right? Well, and certainly we like the guy and have known him for a long time.
But to me it goes beyond that. It goes – you could go one place and it works, and you really have you get how that place works, and it works there.
Yeah.
But the fact that he went to Weber State and he clearly made them a lot better. I mean, that ended up being the best run in school history, right? And then he goes to BYU and has a positive impact immediately. Man, when you start doing it, when you start doing it in more than one place, now you really got me. And you really only have to do it in one. I mean, you can only work one place at a time, but you go one place and you win. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if
it's like us, DJ. We dominated at 1280. We dominated at 1320. And now we're back dominating at 1280 again.
And don't forget 97.5.
And 97.5, man. AM, FM, it don't matter. It's domination.
Streaming number's pretty good from what I've been told. Yeah.
Same thing with Jay Hill. So the point is complimentary football. Well, so then that means the coordinator over there on the offensive side has to call plays that allow the team to have possession of the ball, don't give up easy scores.
Sure.
They got L.J. Martin back there.
How good?
He's a very good running back, right? He may be an NFL guy.
Go to the running game, go to the defense, go to the special teams. What's that kicking game look like?
The kicking, Will Farron is awesome.
Now you're
this
talking.
Guy doesn't bat an eyelash, man. Where do you want the ball? I don't care. Just run me out there. I'll kick it in there. And he kicks a game-winning field goal. What was it, 44 yards? That's not a chip shot against the rival. And you're undefeated trying to maintain. I don't know that there's ever been a field goal that has been more pressurized in that situation for BYU. And it was like it was an extra point. This kid is really good. And, yeah, they lost Marion, but Papinga has brought a new life to special teams, right? They're running back kicks and kickoffs. Holy freak. That's BYU we're talking about. We make a big deal of what Kevin Young has done for the basketball team, as we should. But look at what some of these guys have done for the football team. Look what Jay Hill has done for the defense. Look at Kelly Papinga for the special teams. Oh, my goodness. Collectively, have they ever been better? I always have recency bias on ever been better. I just look in the immediacy. But, wow, they were dominant at times last year. We saw it in the beginning and right through the end of the bowl game. So if they do go with Bachmeier, I don't necessarily expect the worst. I think that's too low. Oh, you can't get any worse than worst, right? So, and I know that's more of a phrase that you were using as opposed to a literal description of what you believe or what you could believe. I understand that. You're just turning a phrase there. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that bad. But at the same time, it is. I think. What's the word? Alarming. Concern. You have cause for concern. No question about that.
I was just gonna go to disappointing because I think the Cougars thought I think Cougar fans. Well, I think the Cougars themselves and their fan base, for obvious reasons, thought they were set up for a really big season. Now, if you're not going to have your A or A+ season, whatever it is, when you put a freshman in there. Does that mean it's a B+ season, a B-, a C? I mean, you keep dropping an F. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All these things, it could unravel on quarterback play. I mean, we've seen other teams' seasons unravel on quarterback play. We watched the Utes last year. And you throw a first-year freshman in there, and you're asking a lot. And you talk to defensive coordinators, and I've done it, and I know you've done it, and I think Yock's done it too, and they want nothing more than to hear, I'm going against a guy who's getting his first or second start. Oh, we're going to confuse him. He's going to see blitzes. He has no idea. This is going to be great. And that's what they think because their job's so hard and week out. They feel like it's like the golfer who gets the short par 4. Like, yes, finally. Easy. Let's do it. So, man, they could be walking into that. And having said that, we've also seen quarterbacks who struggle early and then the quarterback figures something out or they figure out to go to the right quarterback. And the season takes off. Baylor had no expectations. And Baylor was struggling early in the year. And Baylor looked bad at Utah. But you get the right guy in there and it clicks for the right guy. And, man, everything flips on a dime. So you just don't know. But don't know that feels a lot different. And I mean, we're just sitting here in early June. But don't know feels a lot different from this is going to be an A or A+ season.
Okay, I can't argue with that.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Coming up, top of the hour, Danny Ainge, Utah Jazz CEO, joins us at 9 o'clock right here on The Zone.